welcome to UnityTV. I'm Leslie Langdon and this is our 6th episode. Today we'll be making this canvas flower and it's using Melody Ross Brave Girl Boots stamp set, some acrylic paint and canvas, and some spritz. So stay with me and let's make something different. So to make our flower, we start with a piece of canvas, a strip that is 22 inches long by 4 inches. Okay, so I'm going to use this Making Memories paint. It's called Honeydew. And what I'm going to do, it's just an acrylic paint, and I'm actually going to take the lid off. And I'm just going to generously apply it along here because we'll use a bit of it. This acrylic paint will give the flower a nice coating of color and make a good base for us to stamp on it. Just take your paintbrush and just spread the color. Okay, you don't really have to worry about the bottom so much because we're going to glue on this piece of fabric, or the ribbon. So, you know, for about ½ an inch at the bottom, you don't have to worry about applying color. Alright, so once you have finished with your painting, just set that aside, because you don't need that anymore. I've got 2 colors of this product called Colorignz by Shimmerz. One is called Lime into Coconut and the other one is No Yoking. So I just wanted to add a little bit of variation to this, you know, blank sheet of Honeydew color. So I'm hoping that this will just give it some pops of color here and there, just to make things a little more lively for us. Okay, and then I'll put some of this bright yellow and mix that in. Okay, so this all needs to dry before we can stamp on it. So I will come back when we are ready to do our stamping. Okay, so our canvas is dry now, and this ribbon is not adhered yet, so we'll do that later, but I want to just keep it placed here so that when I stamp, I know not to go past that line. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken some acrylic paint. What it is, it's a dabber from Ranger, Adirondack, and this color is called Pool. It's one of my favorite colors. Take your paintbrush and brush the boot. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to be a neat impression. So start over here. What I've done is I'm going to be stamping this line right in the middle of the boot in black, and it's going to stand out. So you'll see that I'm going to use it as my guide for where I should be stamping. So just press firmly, let the paint just settle on top of the canvas for a bit, and pull off. Okay, and then move this over so that you can then find a placement for your next pair of boots. Okay, give that a paint. Okay, and you want to center it with the sentiment here. Okay, and then move this along. Okay, get a nice even application there. And you only need to do this one more time. So once this dries, then I'm going to take that sentiment. It says, "Life is meant to be lived," and I want to stamp it on top of each pair of boots. And I'm going to stamp it in black so that it really stands out. Okay? So in the meantime, I'm going to let these boots dry. If you'd like to have a close-up, why don't I do that? Show you what it's looking like so far. Oops, there you have it. So, you know, you can stop here and, you know, use a portion of this on a layout or on a card. All right, so this technique is great. All you're basically doing is painting on canvas and then stamping with acrylic paint. All right, I'll be back. One thing I should mention is when you're stamping with acrylic onto your stamp, be sure to take a baby wipe and clean the paint off right away because it will dry and then it will be really hard to clean. Okay, so now while I was letting this dry, I realized that my original ribbon choice didn't really match the color of the boots. So I'm not going to stick with this. This is going out the door. And I found a new ribbon to act as a replacement. Okay, this is also a May Arts ribbon. And so I'll just lay it there and we can kind of see it coming together. So next step is to stamp in black using black ink. I'm using Memories ink by Stuart Superior. Okay, I'm just going to apply the ink, get it really saturated, then stamp over top of the boots, kind of right in the middle. Okay, really cute. Okay, so I'll just repeat this step. Make sure that the stamp is right side up. Try and line it up as well so that they're all on the same line. Voila. It's actually stamping really nicely. It's really standing out and the ink is really nice and dark. Okay, one more. Okay, so that is done. Now we can think about putting our ribbon on, because this ink will dry relatively quickly. Probably want to leave it a couple minutes. Alright, so the next step is to apply the ribbon. So if you have a sewing machine, you can take it and do a zigzag stitch or a straight stitch all along the bottom to adhere the ribbon. But as an alternative, I wanted to show you a cool product called Fabric Bond. And it's made by Glue Arts, and you simply iron it on. So this is an adhesive that sticks to the fabric, and then you apply your other piece of fabric or ribbon and then iron it. Okay, so I'll apply a straight line all along the bottom. So this is just an adhesive tool. This is the applicator. Okay. So I'm not sure if you can see that, but there's the line of adhesive. So it is sticky, so this ribbon will stick just fine on top. Okay, so just press down. And then when I iron it, I am going to actually cover this with another piece of cloth just to protect the paint. And so use an old towel, and then it should work fine. Right, so I will do that and I'll be right back. Next step is we have to stitch this together so we make ourselves a circle. So fold it in, and what you're going to do is stitch this together right here with a straight stitch. You can also use a thread and needle if that's all you have, okay? Alright, so you can see that I've stitched it together in the middle here and I've turned it inside out. So this is the beginning of our flower. You can see it's actually very, very stiff and sturdy. That's what the paint does to the canvas. Okay, so take a needle and thread. I'm using quite a big needle here with some string. I'm actually using this kind of thick string instead of a thread. It's just more durable. And you want to go to the inside and just do an in and out stitch. And what this does is it gathers the flower at the center. Okay? So don't be concerned about seeing this stitch because we're going to cover it with a handmade button. Okay? So keep doing this until you've done it all the way around and pull it together. Okay? So here's the makings of our flower. Now what you need to do to make the button is grab a piece of cardboard that you've cut from a box, cut yourself a circle, take a cotton ball, position it over top of the cardboard, and then take a square piece of canvas that you've sprayed with those 2 spritzes that we used earlier. Okay? Alright, so you just want to start with a daub of glue on the bottom. Just position that. And then do a nice little fold and then glue your second piece. Okay, and then just keep doing that. Reposition the cotton ball if you have to. So dab your glue first. Okay, and then the last fold. Okay. So our button is complete now. And that's ready to go in the center of our flower. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm actually going to glue that on. Okay, I applied a generous amount of glue, and then I'm just going to press down firmly. I'm going to hold that for about 10 seconds just to make sure that it stays. So here it is, Brave Girl's flower. For you, you can use it as a gift topper, as a, I don't know, it's kind of big to use for a bow, but I think you can come up with some creative ways to use this. All right, take care and thanks for watching.